message ain't be a thug, but his videos definitely present it as if he's being a thug.
But like you took problem into the video because is it your life?
That's my life, bro.
So I don't. You were talking about how he's presenting these messages to people that live in the hood, in the ghetto, and that's why cops are afraid of them.
That's my life. You didn't get it.
Oh, no.
I understand. I'm not telling you generalize you. But I am from Lawrence Heights. I'm from Lawrence Heights. I'm from a marginalized neighborhood in Toronto. I currently live in Lawrence Heights. He said it's not his life, but it is my life. And I still disagree with you because you're arguing on Kendrick Lamar and what he's talking about, but you don't argue about what put him into poverty. The systems in the United States that caused Compton, the systems that caused Kendrick Lamar to have a bad education, the systems that did all that, and yet he rose above that. And he does have a good vocabulary if you listen to the words. But the reason he's using these swear words is because he's a grown man and he can do what the hell he wants. Like if these kids are listening to this, isn't that the parents' fault for showing these kids this stuff? Like, isn't that a symptom of bad parenting, not him? I'm a 21-year-old. I can listen to Kendrick Lamar. I have no problem with him swearing. Just because your child or someone else's child does, don't show him that. There's a rating on the album. That's the point of it, right?
Okay, so there's all right.
Too fast, Greg. Not okay. So
Okay, hold on a second. So there's a rating on the music, and so adults should listen to it. And there's a rating on XXX stuff, and adults should watch it. Is that what you're saying? We should watch porn. It's okay for adults to watch porn.
Listen. In 1992, when this album came out, The Chronic, in 1982, I was 2 years old. I'm 26 now. They had a parental, expressive. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. That's Dr. Dre. That's what we grew up listening. That's what Kendrick Lamar grew up listening. So the influence still exists, bro.
Okay, so here's my question now. Do you think the influence is good or bad?
The influence is bad.
Okay, hold on. So if the influence is bad, if hip hop's influence is bad, then when we're saying Black Lives Matter, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, if the majority, would you say the majority is the same?
Majority now.
Okay, the majority now. Sister, get some around footage there. Okay, they come around in the back and stuff.
When hip hop first came out, that wasn't the case.
Okay, give me one example of a hip hop song from the 80s that's good.
The Message.
Say the lyrics.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Don't push. Okay, keep going. Who wrote it?
Melly Mel.
Okay, do you know more of the lyrics?
Me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on this. You don't know the song, bro?
No, not on the top of my head.
Dude, that's the point.
Okay, say the lyrics. I want to pull it up because I want to prove a point.
This is what he said. He's like, broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the ground. They just don't care. I did try to make, what he said, I try to make noise. But he's kicking a message. That's the point. The song is called The Message. When hip hop back in the day was about what? The message, a conscious message. I met KRS-One when I was 19. KRS-One. KRS-One is one of the, his name stands for knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone, bro. Hip hop was always a tool of upliftment and elevation for us as a people, but corporate influence, aka white people, got involved.
Okay, so you're saying the reason why black people are not protesting. Hold on. Listen, I listen to you. So you're telling me that hip hop right now is bad or a bad influence. Most of it.
Of course, you want to know why? But listen, because the rappers out today are my age, bro. You don't understand. They're 26, 27, 30. They're understand that hip hop in the 80s, when Rakim first came out, he was like 30, bro. When Jay-Z first came out, Jay-Z was 26. Jay-Z's how old right now? 45?
Okay, but here's what I got. Oh, sorry, man. Here's what I got a problem, man. You acknowledge that most hip hop today is most of it. So let's just say 90% of it. Just hold on. I listen to you. Let me just finish my sentences, okay? So if most of hip hop today is a bad influence, because when I hear the songs, when I go into H&M or I hear hip hop wherever I go, listen. I don't listen. When I turn on YouTube and I listen to the big name guys, I listen to the small name guys, I hear swearing and cursing in almost all of them. When I see the videos, even Beyonce, my friend, I was scrolling through Beyonce. What's wrong with Beyonce? Man, okay, listen. Almost every single person I pull up today has scantily dressed women, okay, which is a bad example for the younger women of this generation. That's one thing. Number two, almost every hip hop song is full of curse words. Okay, you don't teach your kids to swear. Definitely not. Okay, a third thing is, here's an example. I just pulled off a song from Meek Mill called "F Bitches Get Money." Oh, sorry, man. Okay, put it here. Put it here. I'm so sorry. I'm putting my foot there, man. I'm so sorry. So listen to this. Listen to these lyrics. Meek Mill. I said I'm cooler than a fan fresh like it's Easter. Pull up a bitch, she be like hasta la vista. Heezer thought that's what they all say, skeezers. I just effed her yesterday, homie. You can keep her. Believe her. I don't do nothing. I'm a ball. I'm a stand-up nigga. I jump up every time I fall. Every time I lost, I come back like cooked crack. Got my hand in the game.
Understand, kid. Let me explain something to you. I am 26 years of age. I can relate to every single word he's saying, but I do not listen to Meek Mill. This is what you don't get. It's all a matter of perspective. Myself and my friends, when we get together with our friends, we talk like that. That's when we listen to someone like Meek Mill or Drake. But you don't get it, bro. Hip hop is more intelligent than that. That's what you don't get. Hip hop is beyond that. Hip hop is what is fucking, yo, you don't understand, hip hop is the biggest influence. Hip hop is what has these women butt naked, caravan or whatever. It's the influence of hip hop. The influence of hip hop misdirected by corporate interests that came from Ronald Reagan and the crack era and all that shit, and it still continues. It is your mic. But that's all I gotta say.
No. Okay, you said what you said. No, stay in the conversation. Brother, if you want to stay, it's okay. God bless you, man. Yeah, you know me. I know you too.
So you gotta get at me.
No. Yeah, all right, man. Hey, grab my card. Hey, peace in the Middle East, brother. Peace in the Middle East. Listen, man. Where's my card, for instance? Just for quickly, is there any cards here, sister? Can you just see if you? Okay, if you don't got cards, that's okay. Wow. Listen. So back to what I was saying. I'm just gonna finish off with Meek Mill's lyrics, bro. I'll give you the mic if you need to talk. Just have respect here. Listen. Try to take me for a sucker. He get hit up just because. Can't shake him off for nothing. They be hating, but for what? Cause I ain't even get a deal. But when I do, they be like, sick ya bitch all up on my dick. Cause you a bug, you a flea, and I'm a G. I ain't no crip, I ain't no blood, but I don't bend, no, I don't budge. A nigga tempt me fire up. I let that cig blow, light him up. I mean, when you just listen to these lyrics, I mean, it's full of profanity, it's full of lewdness, it's full of things that we shouldn't be listening to. Now, Meek Mill is on the same level as Drake. Drake is what they call the sixth god, or he calls himself the sixth god, which means that he's the 416 god. He's the strongest, biggest, baddest rapper of Toronto. Now, if you listen to his lyrics, I mean, I admit, these guys are very lyrically crafty. They're very gifted in their skill. But they are also the people that lead the hip-hop world. And most of the other hip-hoppers and rappers try to be like these people. And most of the people that you hear and what you hear on the radios, what you see all over, is the same stuff being pushed in the ears of the younger generation. What I gotta say about that, and I'll let you say something for a second. I grew up in Metro housing too, in Malvern community. I myself was a hip hopper. I got influenced just like most of the young people. I can tell you almost every single person in my generation in the 90s when hip hop was just coming out either got themselves in jail, slept with women, smoked weed. Many of them are dead today because of gun violence or stab violence. Many of us got into the gang. We were all part of the Malvern crew. I mean, this was the reality for those who grew up in Metro housing. Most of us never had a father. Most of us had broken families, and we all hung out on the block. Now, I don't know where you said you're from. You said you're from where? Lawrence Heights? Where is that, like Kennedy and Lawrence? Jungle? Well, that, in the 90s, if you go back in the 90s, when the jungle, you see, you're probably living in a generation when the jungle got cleared out.
We're getting broken down right now. 2 summers ago, we had the most gun murders in the city. Jungle is not a nice place anymore. I'm telling you that as someone who's grown up there and someone who currently lives there. I'm leaving here and I'm going back home to where I live in Jungle. And the reason I'm arguing with you is because a lot of people take pride in rap music. The reason they take pride in rap music is because that's the only place they can see black people. That's the only place you can turn on a TV and see someone that looks like you. What you're degrading hip hop, you're degrading the message that these people represent, but you're not degrading the systems that put them into this place. What brought people rapping? Why? Because we can't progress anywhere else. Why do black people play basketball? Because that's the only place where black talent can actually be black talent. You don't have to be twice as good. You just have to be better. Otherwise, you're in a corporate world. I'm the only black person in my office. Why? Because that's how it works. We're not in these communities. So what do we turn to? We turn to music. We turn to all these things that allow that we can see black people excelling in. And that's the message white people, corporate world gives to us. So to blame black people, to blame Black Lives Matter, to blame the symptoms of the problem is a mistake. These are symptoms from poverty. These are symptoms from oppression, from systematic racism. That is what leading to these symptoms. There's a reason that black people excel in certain things and the reason they're held back in others. So to blame black people and to look at one rapper's lyrics and compare that to two rappers' lyrics and to point out the profanity and then compare it to the black community and like, oh look, there's profanity, this is bad for black kids and stuff like that. Well, what else are black kids supposed to do? If Kendrick Lamar's only way to get rich was to rap in Compton, why can't he rap in Compton? What do you expect him to do? Do you want him to join a gang? Do you want him to do other things? He rapped, he kept himself out of trouble. He was he was a good kid. He finished high school, he got his diploma. He's one of the better ones. And he turned to rap as his escape, and people need this escape. I listen to music as my own escape, and a lot of people in my neighborhood do too. So to degrade them because this is the environment they live in, they had no choice to live in this environment, they relate to these rappers talk, where are they supposed to look to for people like them?
I hear you. Okay, so what you're doing is playing the classic victim mentality, and I'll tell you why. Because listen, just because you're the oppressed, that doesn't mean you have to go take a mic and talk about women like they're bitchs and say I'm gonna pull a gun and rob a bank. And listen, man. Look, I'm a black man too, and what you said is very insulting. I can excel in way more areas than basketball and rapping. And if I wanted to rap, I wouldn't rap about shooting down women and carrying a gun and swearing all over. I would rap about positivity, and I'll rap about God, and I'll rap about wisdom and knowledge and understanding. I would talk about good things. And so poetry is not evil. But what I'm talking about today is the hip-hop culture that is now, and even some of the words you said is really, to be honest, to me, it's insulting to the black community, because the black people have a brain. We can choose right from wrong. We're not victims of the white man's choices. If the white man wants to oppress black people, let them oppress black people. People oppress the Jewish people. People oppress the Chinese people. The Chinese people rose up and built their own community, and they ended up being successful. The Jewish people the same. Just 6 million Jews were killed about almost 70, 80 years ago. And they weren't even accepted for the last 2,000 years within all of Europe. But you don't see them picking up a microphone and saying, yo, 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 B.I.T., and degrading their women. And listen, man, I'm going to read another lyric, For Real, from Drake, featuring Drake, from Future. He says, it's over 25 girls in my section. Let's make a movie tonight. You won't regret it. For real, for real. What is he talking about? A porno with 25 women? Okay, he goes, you know the money bring the cars. The cars bring the hoes. Rockstar life, yo, that's how it goes. For real, for real. This is hip-hop. Future, I was preaching to the people going into the Future concert at Ryerson just about last year, and I was saying, look, you want to know the future? You really want to know the future? If you don't accept Jesus Christ, you're going to hell. That's the future. Listen, the future is if you keep living like that. If you keep promoting and going to somebody that calls himself the future, who has no future, he has future in money, future in success in this world, but he has a future in hell if he keeps this up. And he's influencing all the other black youth and all the other young people who are listening to this junk. And then we're not me, but you got people holding up signs, Black Lives Matter. Look, I'm not against standing up for the rights and freedoms of black people. But listen to me. The real perpetrators that are destroying the black and have more influence on the black culture is the hip-hop artists. Listen, first of all, the black community doesn't even trust the system anyway, so they're not really influencing them, they're just forced to live in it. But the influencers of the mentality within the ghetto, you go to any ghetto in the United States. I was just in Queensbridge a couple days ago, the largest projects in the world, okay? Just type in Queensbridge on YouTube. Type on Queensbridge on YouTube. You know what you find on YouTube? You see rappers rapping, and you want to listen to their rappers? They're talking the same stuff, hoes and banging this and getting the money or money this and living like they're thugs, want to be thugs, talking about carrying a gat, you're coming my way, I'm going to pop you. And you're worrying about police popping you when your own leaders are telling you to pop each other? You know who you should hold up the sign to? You should go to the hip-hop concerts that come to Toronto and say, Black Lives Matter! Stop preaching your hip-hop junk! That's what you should be doing. P. Diddy, get off the stage. Black Lives Matter. Beyonce, stop looking like a hooker. Black Lives Matter. Meek Mill, get out of Canada. Black Lives Matter. Future, you got no future except in hell unless you repent. Black Lives Matter. Black people should be doing that within their own community because we have a brain. Don't blame the white man for your choices. Don't say, yes, of course, it's harder for a black man to get a job because of discrimination and institutionalized discrimination. It's true. It's true. I face it every day. I used to sit on a TTC bus as a pastor, as a man in a suit, and I still got some older white ladies moving their purse along. And when I see the same white guy sitting around looking like a young teenager in jeans, they leave their purse right in front of them. So I experience it too. I know it exists. But you know what? I rise above it. I'm not going to blame their ignorance. It's ignorance. I'm going to still better myself and make opportunities for myself. And I have an education. I have a master's degree. I had to work my brain off to do it. I had to work harder, but I didn't need to take a mic and degrade my own women and teach other kids to shoot each other. So what I'm trying to say, my friends, is hip-hop has a problem. And the problem, you can't blame corporate America for putting black people there. Don't they have a choice to rap on air? They have a choice.
So, yeah, you're right. I agree with much of what you said, but what I'm telling you is 70% of, you agree with the 70% of who buys hip-hop are white people. Black people are only 13% of America. They don't have the money and the buying power to make all these.
Because they burn the CDs and they download illegally.
So they don't, so they don't have, so black people are not the reason hip-hop's popular. Black people are just what makes hip-hop popular, not the reason hip-hop's popular. So telling black people, like, even if you told black